Could the sale of Daniel Marlin have an impact on the Aston Villa versus Everton game, given Aston Villa's current injury crisis as well as squad depth? Could we see a boo from the Villa fanatics and crowd fan base as Jack Grealish, previously a homegrown player, enter Villa Park? My biggest worry with this is that Boubacar Kamara is missing as almost like the glue of our midfield. Would it prove to be costly? This is one of those fixtures that looks simple on paper, but never is. Aston Villa versus Everton. Different objectives, different styles, but one thing's for sure, this game demands patience. What's going on, everyone? Thank you very much for clicking on this channel and this video. I'm so happy to have you. This is the match preview, Aston Villa versus Everton at Villa Park. It's gonna be epic. Roll the intro. Alright, let's get straight into it. So Aston Villa versus Everton. This is the match preview. So I have my iPad in front of me. There's a couple of statistics that I want to read out to you. And let's have a look at what this game has in store for us. Now, I'm sure you'd agree with me. Villa coming into this game could feel positive and feel excited because the record at Villa Park is unquestionably amazing. Everton coming to Villa Park, it's a bit of a difficult one for them, I think, personally. Now, knowing Villa coming into a game such as this, they feeling confident. We feeling positive about this. In actual fact, our run of form doesn't seem bad at all. Now, Everton arrive with a different mindset altogether. Survival, organization, disruption. We can say conclusively that this is control versus resistance. So how would Aston Villa set up versus Everton? Let's look at Aston Villa. Aston Villa will probably look for control, definitely possession, structured, slow build up, playing out from the back, inviting that pressure and allowing Everton to kind of come out of their structure, break up their structure and exploit spaces between that midfield lines. And then obviously we can play into the striker from there. In typical Villa style, they'll probably circulate the ball from side to side, maintain a high disciplined line, use midfield pivots to dictate the rhythm, and then also break lines deliberately, but not forcibly. David Moyes, Everton, probably a pragmatic setup there. They like traditionally that mid block, that low block, very physical in their duels. Direct outlets, definitely. Set piece focus. I think Everton won't come to Villa Park to dominate possession. They will probably look to frustrate Villa in terms of their duels and trying to win that second balls, slow the game down, and perhaps make it a bit more physical. Now, the tactical contrast where that's concerned, I presume that Aston Villa will probably try to be that more patient, structured, controlling team versus your Everton from a more compactness, aggression, disruption, tactical warfare. Now, tradition tells us, and retrospectively, we can always look at the game between Aston Villa and Everton, and we can see that Aston Villa and Everton is no doubt a very competitive game. It is filled with physicality. It is filled with fine margins generally. And not to mention, they have a superstar, which was one of our own before, homegrown, Jack Grealish, who can exploit spaces and draw the defense out if Matty Cash or whoever's in that position is not smart enough to stop him. Now, historically, Everton have frustrated Aston Villa, and that has come down to their deep blocks. And Villa have struggled with tempo drops that go a bit too low, and then also set pieces and second balls often decide outcomes. We are going to have to win every duel possible. Every player is going to have to commit to winning the duel and getting those second balls. This is the make or break of this game. A fixture like this is really about flair. It's really about actual discipline. Let's talk about Emi Bondia. I'm sure he'd be one of the starters of this game. He's going to give us creativity between the lines and the ability to unlock compact defenses. Morgan Rogers, he needs to focus on those late runs and his physical presence and transition threat. Yuri Tillemans, switching play, being clever with the ball, and dictating the rhythm against the low block. Emi Martinez. He needs to ensure that his presence is felt, known, calm distribution, ensuring a commanding presence against Everton, and go direct from time to time. Now, generally, the key play from an Everton perspective is physical forwards, midfield ball winners, aerial threats, set piece routines. This is where Everton becomes very dangerous. And I think Everton will target moments, not phases. One loose pass, one second ball, one corner. Villa need to be disciplined, win their duels, and should avoid switching off at low spells. Can Villa move the ball fast enough without forcing it? Like I said, the midfield battle is key, and Everton will look to exploit that by winning those duels because they're quite physical. Aston Villa has to be aggressive defending Everton's set pieces because Everton seems to be quite good at set pieces. What does this game mean for Aston Villa? I mean, if Villa wins, it definitely strengthens Villa's league position, given that I'm recording this after Manchester United has just beaten Manchester City 2-0 at Old Trafford. It reinforces home dominance once again. Villa Park becomes a fortress, or is a fortress, or maintains the fortress title. But it also shows maturity against defensive sides. If we get a draw, look, it's not disastrous, but the momentum does slow down a bit. So this is definitely a maturity test, not a glamour test. If Villa stay patient, control the tempo, and do not switch off, and move the ball side to side and draw out that opposition, stay switched on, move the ball into those spaces and exploit those spaces, then Emi Bondia and the magic of Morgan Rogers can certainly unlock the Everton's low block or mid block. All right, so I think we'll probably have the back four as usual, and that would be I'm probably going to go for Luca Dean on the left back. I'm probably going to go with Pau Torres as one of the centre backs and Ezri Konza as centre back. And then I think you'll definitely have Matty Cash as your right back. Midfielders, seeing that Kamara's absent for this game, in the midfield, we're definitely probably going to have Yuri Tillemans and we're definitely probably going to have Lamad Bogart, who's been absolutely phenomenal for us thus far. Up front and on top, Ollie Watkins definitely as your striker, and then definitely the three number 10s, Morgan Rogers, Emi Bondia, and John McGinn. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm definitely thinking that if Emi Martinez is fit for this game, he's definitely playing. With the roar of Villa Park, the fans on point, and the stadium flooded with high expectation, being built as a fortress, I think Villa stand a strong chance for bringing home a victory. With that said, it's going to be an exciting game ahead. I'm looking forward to it. And please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell and you'll be notified when I upload new content. Thank you for joining me and watching this match preview with Aston Villa versus Everton at Villa Park. It's going to be another epic one. And as always, from my home to your home, up the mighty Villa.